So that was a little mishap. This is going to be part two. So dang it. Okay, this is going to be part two. I was after like an hour of taking footage. Um, yeah, we had a little technical difficulty thing. Okay, so I was talking about we were making a Shem Angel Pentacle together. That's pretty interesting that it would die like that. That's just weird. Um, so here we go. Isn't that kind of weird that it would just die like that? So, yeah, sorry about that, Rachel. I had a technical difficulty, Rachel. All of y'all watching or that are gonna watch, technical difficulty. So this is apparently going to be split into two videos, a part one and a part two. Now we're into part two. Now we're really going to get busy with some magic, y'all. All right, so we got the name of the angel in Hebrew, okay? And then we have the divine attribute. Now you're going to put around the top, what is it again? Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. It's such a pleasant, it's super Judeo-Christian, and some people may have problems like resonating for that reason. But this is just like the tradition of the Shem angels. And each person has to like come to their own conclusions, you know. Maybe you want to work with them in a different way. But this is just part of the tradition, okay? So each angel has a psalm verse and a divine attribute and all of that, okay? Name of God. So each Shem angel has a divine name, a name of God, okay? And these are extracted from Exodus 14 verses 19, 20, and 21. But these three verses, that's where you get the names. And then, so yeah. So I've got more people coming on. Sorry about that. I had a technical difficulty. So apparently this is going to be part two. Okay, part two. So you've got the name. So over the top, we're going to put, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Now, if it's hard for you to listen, you know, while live like that, you can just look it up. It's verse, what is it? Psalm, hold on just a second here, y'all. Isn't this fun? I mean, without all the technical difficulties, isn't this fun? We're like doing magic together, you know? It's pretty cool. We're doing magic together, y'all. So I need to figure out, so now what am I going to do? Because now I got these two videos. I need to probably, maybe I can try to unite them or render them into one thing. Or because now otherwise I got to like do it, well, on Facebook it's stuck separate. Huh. Okay, well, whatever, you know. It's a learning process, y'all. It's a learning process. All right, y'all. Sorry about the technical difficulties. So where was I? Oh yeah. So, the psalm verse is, here we are, y'all. Here we are, Ayael. So, if you're using the Masoretic text, okay, like if you're using like a King James Bible or something, using the Masoretic text of the Old Testament, then the psalm verse is Psalm 37, verse 4. Psalm 37, verse 4. Okay? If you're using like King James or something. Psalm 37, verse 4. Okay? Again, that is, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Okay? The Latin, and those that use the based on the Septuagint, numbering, it would be Psalm 36 verse 4. Okay, so there's a difference in psalm numbering between the Masoretic text and that based on the Septuagint. Okay, so delight thyself also in the Lord, he shall grant thee the desires of thine heart. You would write that around the top. I'm going to do that in Latin. Okay, and we're going to have our Shem Angel Pentacle. Okay, so give me just a second here. And you know what? I'm actually going to go use this I'm going to go cut this out and I'm going to go use this in a ritual. How's that sound? I'm going to go cut this out and use it in a ritual, y'all. Et delectare in domino et dabit tibi. Super easy. It dabit tibi petitiones. Petitiones cordis tui. Okay? Alright? Very simple. Alright? So whether you did that in Latin or English, this is now my Shem Angel Pentacle. Okay? Take a look. This is now if you've made your own Shem Angel Pentacle, okay, and again it reverses my camera. My camera's reversed here. Okay, Hebrew is read right to left. But this is basically my pentacle, okay? I showed you my way to do it. In the center, I put the name of the angel in Hebrew. In the bottom, I put the divine attribute in Latin to mark it off. And then I put the psalm verse in Latin. That's my method. Now, if you can do the whole thing in English or whatever language you speak, you can just put A Yael in the middle. And you could just put the psalm verse around it in English, or you could put the divine attribute, like I said, and then the psalm verse in English. You can do the whole thing in English or any language. Now, this will now serve as your Shem Angel Pentacle, okay? And you can actually cut this out, and you can use it now in your rituals. You now have a magic tool in your hands, okay? You now have a magic tool. Now, this is now a magic tool. It could be used as a meditative device. You can use it to talk to the angel. It could be used in sigil scrying or pentacle scrying, okay? So this is now a tool that can connect you with the Shem Angel, all right? Now, what I'm about to do is I'm going to cut it out with scissors. A little magic arts and crafts time. I have these little holders. These holders, you can get them very cheaply, or you can get fancy ones, whatever. These holders, look for plate holders. Look for plate holders, okay? Plate holders on Amazon. This can hold your pentacle on your altar. So what happens is, look, here's an old pentacle that I had made. This will serve as an example. This will sit on your altar like this, okay? It'll sit up and you can light your candles or whatever. So this can hold your pentacle up. So it'll hold it up and you could scry or whatever else. I really recommend getting some of these little old school plate holders. They're very simple. They just have a little hinge. You know what? I might leave a little link, you know. It'll be a commissioned link, total disclosure. But I'll give a link to some of these if people are interested. You can get them on Amazon or wherever else. These can hold up your pentacle once you cut it out. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go cut that out so that I end up with something like this, okay? All right, and you can do several things. Imagine you have a white candle on each side. You can have a white candle on each side. It's very common in many different traditions to have two candles. Very common in many traditions, two candles. Why? I have no idea. I mean, I could always go into some modern esoteric whatever, like Yakin and Boaz, two pillars, but I think it's got to be something more than that. The two pillars, there's always two candles, but two white candles, some incense, and this. You could look at this while you talk to the angel. You can look at the Shem Angel Pentacle while you talk to the angel. And while looking at the pentacle, you could try to have an interaction with the angel, okay? So this could be a point of focus, and it could also just be a link. Now, So how do you talk to the angel? All right. Let me see. How am I on coffee here? Yes, I drink coffee. Oh, by the way, all this information is free. I believe in trying to make esoteric information available to everyone. That is what I try to do. I try to make esoteric information available to anyone. Anyone, whatever their situation, wherever they are in the world, they could try to gain some information about the Shem angels. Okay, or whatever type of magic. I like to share free information. All of my stuff is free. However, I have my Patreon up, okay? I have my Patreon up. So I'm trying to do this as my full-time job now, okay? I'm now just trying to be a full-time, as my profession, my job. I'm trying to be a YouTuber, basically, a video vlogger. I want to try to pump out lots of material. I don't have to go focus on a job. I can focus on this daily. I can try to pump out material. I could try to pump out lots of material, and try to really take this seriously and really take teaching magic seriously and education and all of that, and be back, come back in a real way to YouTube. So I'm back on YouTube. I'm back making videos, and I'm back in a very strong way. And the thing is, I'm doing this as my full-time job. So if anyone wants to support my channel or support what I'm doing, I'll give a Patreon link, okay? And basically with my Patreon, it's like $10 a month or whatever. It's like a cup of coffee. If somebody wants to buy me a cup of coffee once a month or whatever, basically. So that's just a lot of people, they support their content creators through Patreon, people do that. Some people choose to do that with their YouTube or whoever they follow their Patreon. So it's just a way that you could support content creators, because I give out free information, and so that's just available if anyone wants to support my Patreon, okay, to support what I'm doing this full time, okay. So we have our Shem Angel Pentacle, okay. So now we need to talk a little bit about how do you communicate with an entity. Okay, we're talking about the Shem angels. How do you communicate with an entity? Like I said, at its most basic, you can just use prayer. It's really that simple. Now, if you wanted to have a full, elaborate setup, you could get a crystal ball. Many of the old texts and grimoires of magic, they say that a clear crystal ball without spot, okay, is very traditional. Some like to have it elevated. Now you have to be very careful for fire safety. You don't want to burn your house down for a magic ritual. Be very careful with fire safety. And some people, and you don't want to crack your crystal or anything. Some people like to have a setup where the crystal ball is elevated above incense. There are many occultists that believe that the angels prefer this. It's pretty interesting, and you do see it in some grimoires like the Almadel. Okay. And then there are modern methods, okay? Like you see in the spiritualismo and all of that. I'm not very well versed in these traditions, but I know in some of these, Caribbean traditions, they'll communicate through spirits through glasses of water, okay? So this is something that you see in some not a spiritualismo, yeah, like a Boveda and stuff like that, and that's kind of a different tradition, but there are people that practice certain forms of magic and stuff, will communicate through a spirit through a wine glass filled with water. Okay, so this is not found in the grimoires. Okay, I try to talk about all methods, and you could find a method that works for you. I'll go through all the different methods that people have used over the years, and you could find your own method. Now, this is kind of a modern method. You see nothing about this in the grimoires, nothing at all. This is absolutely not traditional, but you could try it out. If you don't have a scrying crystal, you could get a glass of water. You can get a good wine glass or a goblet of water. I highly recommend using holy water. You can get holy water from a church, or you can make your own. Now, if you do go to a church, do not get it from the fount where you dip your hands. Do not. It'll be full of skin cells, and you can get in trouble because you're not supposed to do that. You should ask a priest or ask someone. It's totally normal. Totally normal. It's totally acceptable. It's everyday practice. Catholics do this. Go ask a priest. Go ask someone, is there a fount to fill up a bottle of holy water? Okay? Or you can make your own. Okay, but I really recommend a glass, a wine glass with holy water in it, consecrated water. You could scry in that. Okay, you could try scrying in that. Now, something important is that not everyone is a scryer, and that's just the truth. Not everyone is a scryer. John Dee did not scry. John Dee, as much of a great magician as John Dee was, as much of a great genius, mathematician, all these things that John Dee was, he was not a good scryer. John Dee had Edward Kelly scry for him. If you look at a lot of the older grimoires, they say to use someone else. It's very clear that the magician is actually instructed, like in the Abramelin, for example, to use a scryer. Okay, to use a scryer. So this is like, it's very, like, not everyone is a scryer. Okay, now everyone has the ability and the capacity to try to develop that, but that is just the truth of the situation. So if you try to scry with a Shem angel or something, first of all, don't feel discouraged, okay? Because not everyone is a scryer. John Dee clearly believed in magic and did all these things, but he used John Edward Kelly. Okay, not everyone is a scryer. Second of all, it is something that can be developed with practice as well. Okay? So, not everyone is going to have, but I encourage everyone to try to scry. And I encourage everyone to have some type of scrying device and to work with that, okay? So you don't want to ever throw up your hands and be like, I'm not a scryer, and just not do it. Don't do that. No. I think everyone should try to scry. But that is the important thing, just the reality of the situation. Look at John Dee. Look in the Hygromantia. It says to use someone else to scry for you. Okay, a lot of these texts. However, I know that it's real. Like the real experience of scrying, because I've experienced it myself. I know that it is a real thing, okay? It is a real experience, at least, the scrying. Okay, and many occultists have talked about the experience. I've had it. People have been talking about the experience of scrying for centuries. It's an essential magical skill. But I just want to make it clear, like, don't feel discouraged. Keep going. Now, and it's something that has to be developed with time with some people. Now, there are different scrying methods. Traditionally, a crystal ball. Okay? You could use a wine glass filled with consecrated water, just with water. I would at least use spring water. I wouldn't use tap water. Just wine glass or goblet filled with water. 2 candles. Have your seal. So right here, you could have your seal of the angel. Then you can have your wine glass filled with water or consecrated water, and your 2 candles. And with your wine glass filled with water, you have a white candle, 2 white candles, wine glass, Shem angel talisman that hopefully you made with me, okay? Another method is actually sigil scrying. So we covered scrying crystals. That's one method. We covered just the wine glass filled with water as one method, as a focal point. You're focusing your mind while you talk to the angel. The third method is sigil scrying. Sigil scrying, again, this is a modern method. It is not found in the grimoires. It is absolutely not traditional, okay? But I want people to know all the techniques and try them out. Go try them out. I've used sigil scrying. I found it to be effective. Sigil scrying, what you do is you look at the sigil of the angel. You stare at the sigil while you pray to the angel, and then you wait for like ideas to come to the surface. You wait for feelings. ideas, wait for experiences. Maybe you start getting visual stuff to come to the surface while you kind of zone out and look at the Shem Angel talisman, okay? Or the sigil of the spirit, or in this case, sigil scrying or pentacle scrying. You look at this, the Shem Angel Pentacle. I encourage people to try pentacle scrying with this. If you made a pentacle with me, if you did it, think of this as a meditative device. It connects you with the angel, which you made with me, and you could actually scry with it, okay? So you're going to do some pentacle scrying. Get a couple of white candles, light the candles, and then talk to the angel while looking at your pentacle, okay? And look at the pentacle. Allow your eyes to kind of dim. Just look at the pentacle. Maybe spend 15, 20 minutes, however long. Make sure you're comfortable with the practice. Look at the pentacle, wait for images and ideas to come to the surface, okay? So that is pentacle scrying or sigil scrying, all right? Timing. I like to use the hour of the sun because I'm following the sun through the zodiac. I like to use the hour of the sun. Some people use no timing with the hour. They just follow the sun's in these signs. Okay, anytime. I like to use the hour of the sun. Some people like to use the hour of Mercury because the Key of Solomon says if it's not said what time, use the hour of Mercury. Many people use solar things with the Shem Angels. I like to use the hour of the sun because I'm following the sun through the zodiac. If you have planetary hours, the hour of the sun works really well for me. However, and there's also this 20-minute cycle of Lazar-Linane that I talked about. You could combine the methods. You could follow the sun through the zodiac and also work with the 20-minute cycles of Lazar-Linane and his Science of Kabbalah, his 20-minute cycles. So you can do both at the same time. Now, I don't want to impose my own thing in anything, but I've used both. Following the sun through the zodiac, I've tried using Lazar-Linane's timing of the 20-minute cycles, and I've tried doing the hour of the sun. I found them both to be pretty good. But I found that using timing, I get better results than no timing. Now, this is why I think it's good to have a magical record or journal and write it down. Write down so you see what works for you over time. With me personally, I get better results with timing than no timing. But I've noticed following the sun through the zodiac, I get good results both following Lazar-Linane's 20-minute cycle and then also the hour of the sun. Either way, I usually do the hour of the sun. That's how I normally. So I got my planetary hours, hour of the sun. The sun's in these degrees of the zodiac. That's the Shem Angel, hour of the sun. And I use my Shem Angel Pentacle, and I use the hour of the sun. That's how I work with the Shem Angels. I get really good results, and many people have worked with this and gotten good results. All right. So, you know what? I'm having technical difficulties, and I don't think I'll be able to read. Wait, yeah, I can. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Okay, are we going to do our geomancy today? Are we going to draw some geomantic figures? So, we're going to draw some geomantic figures. Okay, you got your Shem Angel Pentacle. You Renaissance magicians, guys, y'all, plural. Y'all are now Renaissance magicians. So, I'd like everybody to give themselves a pat on the back right about now, okay? Everybody people are like, I'm turning this off. I'm getting out of here. Everybody give yourself a pat on the back. You're Renaissance magicians now. No, but seriously, like, I'm joking around, but like, y'all did it, you know? Y'all did it, seriously, you know? I'm just joking around, but seriously, though, you guys you're already doing classical magic, you know? People are like, why haven't I done this years ago? My goodness. I know. My response is, I know. So this is classical magic. So we're going to do some geomancy. All right. So everybody get your pen and paper. So we're going to go to a separate sheet of paper. Okay. Put your Shem Angel Pentacle away. You'll be using that later for your magic. So put your Shem Angel Pentacles away, okay? You'll be using that for your magic later, alright? Put your Shem Angel Pentacles away that you just made with me. Now we're going to do some geomancy again, alright? Y'all ready to do a reading with me again? It's funny, if you're doing these exercises with me, you're literally doing magic with me. Like, you're literally doing magic with me, okay? Right now is the time of this angel. I want y'all to work with Yael, okay? Today and tomorrow, time of Yael, go work with him or her. Go work with this angel, y'all. Go work. It means delight. God, the delight of the children of humanity. That God's our delight. This is a joyful angel, okay? Joy. Look at the Psalm verse. It's all about delight, okay? It's an angel of change. Okay, it's an angel of occult science and secret knowledge too. It's an angel of longevity. If nothing else, ask Yael for long life. If nothing else, ask Yael for long life, okay? We could all deal with more life, all right? So if you can't think of anything to ask him for, long life. It's perfect. Alright, so put your Shem Angel Pentacles away. We're going to do some geomancy, y'all. You got your pen and paper ready? Y'all ready? Alright, so think of a question. I want you to think of a question, and then we're going to do 4 rows of dots. Okay, think of a question. We're going to do 4 rows of dots. Alright, I'm going to think of my question. Let me see here. All right, here we go. All right. I have my 4 rows of dots. So what you're going to do is think of a question, take your pen and paper and make 4 rows of dots, okay? So, right here I have my top row. I have a second row, a third row of dots, and then I have my bottom row of dots, okay? So think of your question and make 4 rows of dots. I'm going to wait just a second while y'all do that, okay? And let me know what y'all get, okay? I want all of you geomancers to tell me what you get. Y'all are a bunch of geomantic diviners. You're doing it. You're doing geomantic readings for yourselves already. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so we got our 4 rows of dots, okay? Now we're going to make a geomantic figure. Count the number of dots in each row. Odd numbers become 1 dot in your geomantic figure. Even number of dots becomes 2 dots in your geomantic figure. So we're going to count them up. So the top row, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my figure. 9 is an odd number, so the top thing of my geomantic figure is 1 because it's an odd number on the top row. And again, this is just an example. This is just mine. You're going to have your own figure that'll be different from mine. So in my example, I'm going to count the second row of dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in my figure, my second row of dots is 8. That's an even number. So I'm now going to put even numbers, even dots becomes 2. Okay? So now I'm going to count the third row of my dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is an odd number. And now I'm going to count the bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, okay, is an odd number, which becomes 1. So my geomantic figure is Puella. That is mine. What did you get? What did you guys get? Okay. So that is what mine is. I got Puella. That's a good one. You know, I have to my credit, I have been posting videos that are an hour, 2 hours long daily. Daily, to my credit, I have been posting videos that are an hour or 2 hours daily. Okay, this is number 9. Yeah, 9 of my Monday through Friday. 1 to 2 hours daily I've been posting videos. This is Esoteric Coffee Hour number 9. My problem is getting this done at a set time. Self-knowledge is very important. Self-knowledge, knowing yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses. My weakness, and it's something I need to work on, okay? My weakness has always been time and schedules and procrastination and stuff. You know, I'm a zany person, all right? But I'm very obsessed with learning and magic and all this. But I'm not good with time. These morning, sometimes I'm good with the morning things. But if I'm already bad with timing, I should probably put my lives later on. Because if I already suck with time and schedules, if I already suck at schedules, putting them at the crack of dawn probably isn't the best of ideas. You know, if I'm being strategic, if I'm already bad with schedules and stuff, the crack of dawn or dawn, more probably not the best time. Also, not many people get to watch a live in the mornings. You know, Monday through Friday. A lot of people are at work at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. They're at work. But the evenings more people can watch. So I've been thinking about it. I might start doing these evenings. But God, I don't want to like irritate my viewers. They're like, listen, you bastard, you know? You said mornings, now you're doing evenings. What are you doing, you know? But to my credit, I have been putting out an hour, 2 hours daily. An hour, 2 hours daily of free content. I mean, my God. I'm talking about the Shem Angels. We're going into, like, you know how many, like, I'm not trying to throw bouquets at myself or anything, but you know how many books, you know, like a person would have to buy to, like, go, to really understand all. I'm giving this for free, you know. That's why I put out my Patreon, because I want this information to be free. I want it to be free for everybody. I want esoteric. I just want to help people. I just love the subject. However, for the first time in my life, I'm trying to do this as my job, like my career, you know, my regular job. So I've got my Patreon if people wanted to support, if they wanted to, you know, support my Patreon, you know. If they want to support me doing this full time and trying to put content, free content for people, and they could support my Patreon. I'm going to give a link later, but where was I? All right, so, oh yeah, we were dealing with spirit scrying and methods, all right? So, you could use no focal point, okay? So, we already talked about crystal balls, and that's actually kind of cool. Yes, 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 sirs and madams. Crystal balls were absolutely used in Renaissance angel magic. It is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Having a clear crystal ball with the incense and you know, with the Shem angel thing and the whole thing and the incense and the candles, having a crystal ball is pretty cool setup, you know, prop for angel magic. I'm not gonna lie. You could even set it on a pure beeswax seal. I made a pure beeswax seal based on the Shem angel talisman of Linane from his Science of Kabbalah. I actually made a beeswax seal. I posted it on my Facebook. All I did was I took 100% pure beeswax, couple pounds. It was massive, couple pounds. I bought a pot, a pan, just for this, because after that the pan's just, you know, not good to cook with. You know, maybe I'll find a better method, or maybe if I use, I don't know. But what I did was I just took a pan and I put the beeswax, you know, 2 pounds of beeswax I bought on Amazon, and it made like a giant, like little beeswax, like little disc, you know. Just heated that, and then I just cut carefully cut the Shem Angel talisman of Lazar Linane from the pure beeswax, and I used that to hold my crystal ball. That's a whole other subject. If you wanted to make a beeswax like table of practice for the Shem angels. But basically, crystal ball. Yeah, crystal balls are used for Renaissance angel magic. You could talk to angels scrying with a crystal ball. You know, it is pretty cool. Like, madam, whatever, reading with a crystal ball. Yeah, angel magic. If you don't have a crystal ball and you really want to try scrying, a wine glass filled with water, with spring water, consecrated water. Okay. If you don't have that, sigil scrying. Okay. Sigil scry. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to look at these. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to look at these. At y'all's reading. I'm so sorry. Because I'm gonna look at y'all's geomantic read. I'm back on this. Sometimes it's hard for me to stay on track. I go from one thing to another. I'll do this for 5 hours, 5-6 hours. Um, and then there's sigil scrying or pentacle scrying. Just look at the pentacle with the have the candles and the incense, and look at this and try to communicate and look for emotions that come to the surface, ideas, thoughts, images. Okay. Next, there's no focal point. You could try no focal point. Have the candles, incense, just talk and pray. You may have an experience. Third, there's full-on like astral projection techniques, okay? That is absolutely not traditional. It's not found in the grimoires. However, astral projection techniques are used. I don't feel like I am in many ways a traditionalist. I am a traditionalist. But also I use modern methods with communication with spirits too. Okay, full-on astral projection. And that's a really good method if you have problems scrying. Okay, astral projection. I say try it all out. Okay, but you may wonder, like, is it all in my head or whatever? Look, I say try it all out, write it down. Write it down. I'm giving you a practice that you should go practice and do and try it all out, okay, and see what works for you. Now, let's take a look at these geomantic figures. Let's see here. Max says angels like when you sing their names. At least that's what works with me. Yes, I've heard that tradition. I don't do it, but I've heard that a lot. All right. How can we know how to write the angel's name in Hebrew letters? Maybe Google Translate. You don't have to, Max. That's what I was saying, is that you can do the angel name in English and the psalm verse in English, and it's every bit as powerful. Okay? You can do it all in English. Now, if you wanted to do it in Hebrew and all that, but you don't have to do that starting out. You could look up the angel name in Hebrew and just try to copy it. But just writing in English, A-Y-L, E-I-A-E-L. So what I was talking about with the Shem Angel talisman, see, I didn't want to confuse people, because I like to put the name in Hebrew and then around it in Latin. But the thing is, you don't have to do that, okay? If you just put Ayael or whatever angel name in English, so make a double circle, and just put Ayael or the name of whatever angel or spirit you're working with in English. And in the case of the Shem angels, put the psalm verse in English all the way around it. Adding the divine attribute is optional. You can just put the psalm verse around it and the name of the angel in the center, all in English or Spanish or whatever language someone has, okay? So, let's see here. 3 odds and 1 even. So I take it that's like dot, 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 2 dots. Okay, that would be Cauda Draconis. Yes, that is the dragon's tail. That is correct. So the dragon's tail, or cauda draconis, represents endings. Okay. It's good. It's represents the endings. Now the thing about endings is they're also beginnings. So that's, if you could also look at the symbolism as a door at the bottom. The two at the bottom could be seen as a door, and the line of dots above it is like walking out of the door. Okay, so it's like walking away or an ending of something. Caput Draconis, the opposite, is walking into something. It's a beginning. Cauda Draconis is an ending. So yeah. And there are many other ways to look at this, and we'll go deeper into that in our videos. Kimberly says, odd, odd, even, odd. So that is puer. Kimberly, you have puer. Puer starts off the geomantic series as Aries in the first house. Puer is ruled by Aries and Mars. But it's Mars dignified, okay? Mars positively placed. Puer could represent, puer is like energy and drive and excitement and courage and enthusiasm. It's that type of energy. Puer means boy, and puer, the image of puer, could be seen as a phallus. With two testicles, or it could be seen as a sword, like holding a sword, and it's assigned to Aries and is a rush of energy. Okay, so that is puer. Let's see what we have here. All right, so let me see here. Rachel has, so you showed me this, Rachel, you have Fortuna Major. Oh, by the way, on my Patreon, I plan to start having private videos that are just available on Patreon. So I plan to do that as well. Just a way to thank people, you know, those that do want to support my channel, those that, you know, support me making all this content that's available for everyone. If you want to support my work, you know, so for the Patreon members, I'm going to have private videos kind of like this. So there's going to be sessions and videos that won't be available anywhere else, okay? It's just a way to really thank my Patreon subscribers. So if anyone wants to see videos that are not going to be available anywhere else, be sure and go to my Patreon. And then also that would help out my channel as well. So, let me see here. But the Hebrew letters are pretty. Yes, they're. Oh, Rachel, you have Fortuna Major. Fortuna Major. 2211. And notice how it's a binary. These are like ones and zeros or on and off switch. It's a binary. But Rachel, you have 2211. That is Fortuna Major. Okay, Fortuna Major is a wonderful figure. Wonderful. It's the luckiest and most fortunate figure that exists. It's the luckiest and most fortunate. Congratulations. Fortuna Major. It's a yes. Whatever you're asking about, it's a yes. It's a wonderful, it means success, glory, and it's success and everything that comes from within. It's real strength. So that's a yes. Anywhere you get Fortuna Major, it's a yes to whatever you ask about. Success, happiness. Let's see. Noir says, the first question I asked, I got Fortuna Minor. Well, you know that's positive. Then I asked another question and got Puella too. My first question was what I need to focus on in the moment. Fortuna Minor. Then I asked how to turn my craft into my career. Puella. So focus, what you need to focus on in the moment. Maybe you need to focus on happiness and success and joy, and focus on success and in creating success. Focus on your craft. Turn your craft into a career. Puella could represent creativity and art and beauty, and things like that. And yeah, so fertility and creativity. What I would say is that how to turn your craft into your career. What you have to do here is you take an archetype or an energy and you turn that image or that symbol in your mind while thinking about your situation. And by turning the symbol or the image in your mind while contemplating on your situation, the truth can tend to come to the surface, okay? So in that sense, we could think of our responses in a way as meditative devices. They're things to contemplate. They're not meant to be things that we just look it up in a book. When you get an answer, it's something to really be contemplated. Kind of like with dreams. So how to turn your craft into your career. Puella. Creativity. Beauty. Maybe it's doing what you love, you know? It's doing what you love. It's Puella. Let me see here. Carl says, will you teach how to evoke a goetic demon in Grimorium Verum? It's not really my magical path or something that I practice. Every magician has their own way and their own path. So when I say that I don't work with the 72 demons of the Ars Goetia or the Grimorium Verum, I'm not at all putting any kind of judgment on another path. Okay, I respect all, like, how could I? Like, what would my opinion matter to someone else anyway in their path? Okay, we all have our own path. Me personally, I don't work with the Ars Goetia or with the Grimorium Verum. I'm very careful with the energies that I work with, and I work with energies that I really, really, really feel comfortable that I want in my life. Now, am I saying the Ars Goetia is the devil, basically, and don't do it, or no. Each person do what makes them happy. Me personally, I'm happy and I'm finding fulfillment working with the practices that I work with. Now, different magicians are different. If you want to learn to work with the 72 demons of the Ars Goetia or work with the Grimorium Verum, there are other teachers that can help you do that. Okay, so there are other teachers, there are other books, and there are people that you can learn from to do that. But it's not my thing. Okay, so that's just a very long about, with an explanation as to why. Answer is to that, no, I can't teach you that. It's not really my thing. Okay, so there's an answer with an explanation. All right, let me see here. Max said, I started with Goetia, but those spirits told me to better work with the guys above. Yeah. All right, y'all. So today we're going to continue our reading of Agrippa. No, this is Agrippa's book on geomancy. Okay, we're reading a 16th century text. Agrippa's book on geomancy. All right. Or should I start that off? You know what? A lot of this I'm doing on the fly, you know. Now that I'm thinking about it, if someone's wanting to read the whole book by watching my videos, I should put that at the beginning of each video. I don't want them to have to dig to the middle of the video to get to continue the reading. So I think I should start off my videos with the reading. So, and we've already gone. By the way, I wanted to show my actual gratitude to all of you that took the time to listen to what I have to say and watch my videos, okay? So I just wanted to genuinely take the time to say that I genuinely do appreciate y'all. I plan to put more videos out. So I'm going to add links and everything to this after it renders. Let me take a look here. Let me see. Yeah, it's been a couple of hours I've been doing this. More than that, I think. Yeah. It might be like 2 hours this time. I don't know. Guys, that's it for today, I guess. I think I might start doing things. I have been doing an hour, 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. I've been doing pretty good. But I may not, I don't know. I don't know if the morning. I'm trying different things. You know what I mean? I'm trying different things. It may be that the evening is actually a better time for me to make these videos. If you watched my video, hopefully you drew a geomantic figure, and hopefully you made your Shem Angel Pentacle with me. And this is now your link with the angel. You can do this with any of the angels, okay? We might do that in more videos. I want to remind people that I now have a Patreon. My videos are free. I teach people about this angel magic and stuff for free. All of this stuff, I do this stuff for free. Those that want to support my work and what I'm doing, because I'm trying to do this as a full-time job, go to my Patreon, and I'll also make videos that are only available on Patreon. They're not available anywhere else. To thank my supporters, those people that do support my work, they'll get like their own private videos that you can't get anywhere else. Just as a thank you, you know, we might do some no telling, do some meditation together, or I don't know. We're gonna figure it out, but there's gonna be more material on Patreon as well that's not gonna be available at any other place. Let's see here. I got the same feelings and answers for those two I got. Furthermore, they basically want me to create and manifest using my wisdom and knowledge by doing magic and working with the angels, etc. I have been working with LOL, and to that I say, well duh, LOL. Creating with intentions, yes. Yes, I say follow your dreams, you know. That kind of goes into like accomplishing like your true purpose and who you are at your core. I think that's the most important thing with spirituality. And with no dogma or no one religious just in general, no one tradition, your walk with the angels and your path, you will discover more of who you are. It seems to me like the angels, they want us to discover more who we are as we work with them. Okay? So there's a knowledge that comes in. And I feel like when you're doing what really is who you are at your core, then you're going to be in the right place in the universe. If you're doing who you are as a person, you're being who you are, okay? Then you're going to be in the right place, okay? It's only when you break from that being true to yourself, true to your nature. If something doesn't feel right, then it's not right. And I think that applies to career, it applies to relationships, it applies to everything really. If something doesn't feel right, then you know, it's a sign. Always be true to yourself. To thine own self be true, okay? And if you want to make your art, there are ways to do that. If you want to make your art your career, there are ways to monetize that. And I'm sure that there will be people that will support you. Okay. Hi, Melissa. How are you? We're actually ending this live. Actually, I had a technical difficulty. It's going to be a part 1 and part 2. I appreciate those of you that worked with me through that. I may start doing these in the evening. Sorry for all the weird stuff with the schedule, but I am doing an hour, 2 hours daily, you know, pumping out stuff. But anyways, I guess that's it for today. I really appreciate all of y'all that tuned in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I might do it in the morning. Dang, now I feel bad because now I feel like I'm leaving people hanging. I don't know. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of stuff trying to put out all this content. Just bear with me. There will be something daily. Okay, there will be something posted daily. The time, I'm not really sure for people when to catch me live. I'm still trying to get my schedule worked out. I tried to do it morning all the time, but I keep messing up. So I just need to I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Daily, there will be some type of content. But also, it gives me a chance to kind of see, are there more people in the evening, more people in the morning? Honestly, I'm seeing more engagement at night. That's pretty interesting. More engagement at night. There's more people. I guess a lot of people are working in the morning. All right. Good night. And let me see here. Alright, exactly. My only wish is to be me 100% and to fulfill my destiny and everything there. This is what Noir says. I do a lot of automatic writing. Yeah, you're gonna find your path, you're gonna find your purpose. Carl, for that's just not my specialty right now. One day I may offer like all kinds of different things. I feel like if someone's going to teach a magic path, they need to be very well versed. You need to learn. You don't want to learn from somebody a certain thing that they work with different systems. They never really mastered it. You want to work with someone that mastered that type of magic. Okay, now maybe eventually I'm going to work more and more with that, and I might start doing like full on videos and classes. I do have some videos on that topic. I made some videos on that, but it's not really my specialty. And it's kind of hard to switch my focus. I tend to like the best way I could describe, because my videos are information, but they're also expressions of me. And so my character comes out in the whole thing. And the way that I'm very one-pointed focused. And it's hard for me to do anything that's outside of that, like, one focus. Right now, I'm so focused on the Shem Angels and geomancy. But you know what? I'm getting a ton of material out that'll help people from now on. So it's going to help people. But I'm very one-pointed focus, and it's hard for me. Sometimes it's even painful to get me to like focus on other topics and things. So right now, basically, it's my way as nicely as saying, and with an explanation, like right now, I'm probably just gonna I have to follow my interests at the time, and I just don't see myself teaching. Getting into Enochian magic right now, or the Grimorium Vera, or any of that. So I'm just kind of following what I have to do, which is true to myself, and also it helps others too. So right now it's kind of the Shem Angels and geomancy, and we'll see where it goes. I'm kind of bringing people on the journey with me. I got an dry eraser board. I'm getting fancy, y'all. I'm coming on up. I'm going to have a nice dry eraser board, for y'all coming up tomorrow. Y'all are going to I don't know what y'all are going to think when y'all see me with my dry eraser board, I'm coming up in my videos. It's going to be like a full respectable classroom around here. All right, so that's it for now. More to come tomorrow. And we'll figure out the timing and stuff. There will be something every single day, okay? Sorry about the timing. I know that sucks. I'm trying the best I can. I'm getting something out every day, so we'll see how that goes. Let me see. All right, y'all. That is it for today, and I will see y'all next. Sorry about the technical difficulties. That's part 1 and part 2. But I'm going to have more out for y'all tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And be sure and check out my Patreon. Anyone that's interested, I'll give a link. And I'm going to add links to everything after this renders. And have a great day, y'all. Bye, y'all.